Looks like we got Mike Sidic here.
Oh, here he comes.
Our winner.
I'm going to step out and let you
Okay.
guys
Awesome.
do it.
All right.
We'll let him in. We'll see. Oh, come on in, Mike Sidic.
2021.
He's smiling. I'm really excited.
Squamish 50-mile champion, Mike Sidic.
Come on over. He has to. Now we have the hip mobility, navigating some cords. Moving on in here. Let's see.
What a
Come
run.
on in. Take a seat.
How are you guys doing?
Mike.
Nice to see you.
How are you, buddy? It's been a while, man. Good to see you.
I'm kind of walking like the Tin Man. It's like, ooh.
We're actually gonna watch when you stand up.
Yeah.
That's the part we're really looking for.
We're looking for that, and I'm looking to see how you're going to be moving tomorrow. Let's get into that.
I'm not in the tomorrow mentality quite yet.
Let's not talk about that.
I got a massage booked in a few hours, so
Okay.
I think
Genius.
that might help a little bit.
So, Mike Sidic, tell the people where you're from.
I'm originally from Flin Flon, Manitoba, but been living in Vancouver for 19 years.
Awesome, man. Right on. And how many times have you run Squamish?
This is the second time.
Congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And how did this time compare to the previous running in the race? What year was that? 19?
2018.
And you were third that year?
I was second.
Oh, you were second.
Yeah,
Nice.
second
right
to Carl
on.
Logston.
To Carl. Awesome. Right on. And so how did 2019 compare to 2021?
Night and day,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Or dry and wet?
Yeah, dry and wet. Race is normally held in August, I guess, so it's warm and maybe a bit smoky. And 2018 was warm and a bit smoky and generally pretty fast. And trails were dryish, and today was just completely outrageous.
Yeah.
Would you say it was an atmospheric river? Another one.
That's an adjective we can use. Yeah. There were like legs swallowing puddles out there. Like we're trying to skirt the puddles, but they're like sloped. So you're like Nick, who I was running with for the majority of the day, he fell like 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can imagine. And that's saying a lot because that's an alpinist.
It is.
A mountain
Yeah,
river.
Sturdy on his legs.
He's extremely gets the bridges in a way that pretty treacherous.
Yeah.
Very mossy. So hopefully majority of people stay upside down today.
Well, I think at least majority aren't flying quite like you two were.
Yeah.
What was that like right from the get-go? We were talking about this. Gary had said this is the year where more men, and it was primarily the men up front leading a full.
Kind of just roll the first 10K like chit chat pace and like a 43, 42.
Like it's still a conversational pace for a lot of you guys up there.
Yeah.
But it is a. Did you think it was?
Yeah.
Just steady, and then to get the legs moving after a really, really bad sleep.
Oh yeah.
Typical bad sleep.
Yeah. And so coming through the aid station, feeling comfortable, trying to keep it controlled. How are you feeling going up and over to Bex? Because that's usually a bit of a moment where you start to see who's a little fitter and who's playing a little more cautious start to play out.
For sure. I mean, today, the fact that we had to roll to Bex at night was quite an interesting factor because the trail's quite braided, so there's many different turns that you can take, and luckily the signage of Squamish 50 is just amazing for the most part, so we were able to follow the trail, luckily. But there was a couple of kind of hesitancy there where we're just like, oh, we gotta go here or there, because in the dark it's obviously super crazy and it's wet and mossy, and we're kind of second guessing steps because there's mossy rocks and all that, so it kind of added just a level of gnarliness to it, the Bex at night. And then the downhill's just send it downhill.
Yeah.
It's just super fast.
And he's saying send it, but it's an ugly descent.
It was an ugly descent.
Baby head size rock.
Baby ankle biter rock.
Think of this like baby heads with an atmospheric river
flowing right
flowing
That's a
through
really dark
the baby
scene.
heads. So
Really dark scene. That's where
so
Mike's
yeah,
at right
it
now.
was like Nick and I again just kind of feeding off each other.
Nice.
I think they should use that in their description of the course, and then you're going to descend through a river of baby heads.
Yeah,
That
there's
sounds great.
Lots of baby
Keep it PG.
heads out there.
So
Baby head rocks.
I was pretty happy to get onto like the Alice Lake Trail.
Yeah.
I bet.
Nice,
a little more
nice,
flowing.
nice
sun
flowy,
is-
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden, like we had light.
Where'd you get light? Where'd you flick
Where
off
did
the
we get-
headlamps?
I flicked mine off kind of prematurely.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I'm into stealth mode a little
That's
bit.
it.
I went to
Little
stealth mode,
tactic.
and then we like
Get
got
out of
into
sight.
like the trees again. I'm like, whoa,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
night again.
Before the
Eyes
climb,
haven't-
before
I-
corners, like kind of in there, start.
Yes.
Yeah.
The climb. I turned off, but luckily Nick was still there and his
Yeah.
headlamp was on. He kind of saved my butt there.
Yeah. So early miles. It sounds like you guys are working together. You're not really thinking too competitively yet. Kind of just sort of
Yeah.
working with Nick the whole time. Was that a strategy coming into the race? You're going to cue off Nick and see what he's doing, or what were you just more run real race? How did you come into it?
No real strategy in that sense, but I knew Nick is a really experienced runner, and I mean, I'm not sure if he holds the course record to this.
About 50 seconds
Yes.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. From
And
Dakota Jones. Yeah.
consistently posts really fast times in this race, and he's won it like a couple times.
Yeah.
So I knew he'd be experienced and just a generally experienced runner. I knew he'd be great to run with.
Yeah.
So luckily, like we just kind of paired together, just kind of came together and rolled it. And kind of fed off each other. Like I'd lead for a bit, then he'd lead for a bit, and it was just perfect.
So previously, we were just chatting with Brandon Gardner. It sounds like him and I think it was Marcus were kind of pushing the pace from the start off the front. And Sean was also in the mix there. But it sounded like Brendan Gardner was in first and second, either with Craig or with Marcus, I can't recall. But it sounded like they were pushing the pace off the
Yeah.
front. Was that a concern for you? Were you worried about the runners in front? Were you sort of more controlled? Let's run my own race and then see how it goes.
It was kind of like that control. Like
Yep.
let's just run it. Like Nick and I were chatting a bit. Like and he was saying like sometimes runners will go off a bit hot. And the fact that we couldn't see them, we didn't know just where they were. If they went off really hot, so we kind of just held back a little bit. And then after Quest, it was like.
It's on. For those who don't know the course, that's a pretty big make or break moment.
Yeah.
It really strings the race out. It's a big 700 meter climb.
5K, 700 meters.
When we hit the base of Galactic, Nick and I were 4th and 5th.
Okay, and this is about a marathon into the race. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we end up catching Craig on Galactic up the climb.
Yeah.
And then downhill, we caught Brandon.
Okay.
Well, right before Quest, and then we rolled with Brandon into Quest.
Into Quest.
And that's
okay.
such a monumental moment. We've talked, I mean, I've probably said so many times, like Quest is Quest, right? But that's a really big tipping point of getting through there. So were you pressing to get through the aid station or thinking you got to leave first or anything that way?
Pressing, yeah, we were pressing through at the aid station. I mean, I had a drawbag full of dry clothes. I didn't put them on.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not time for
Nick's
that.
gone. Like, I need to just put my fresh gloves on and
Yeah.
my fresh hat on, and I actually ended up forgetting all my food in my draw bag that I was gonna take. So I was like, oh jeez.
So did you head out and have that moment of?
I had the
oops?
moment,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh, you know, I'll just get saved by aid station gels
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pickle
Nice.
juice.
Good for you.
hopefully. But,
Juice, awesome.
but yeah, it was great to like the three of us just to roll into Quest
Yeah.
together.
And at this point, I think Sean, from our updates, Sean was a little out in front. Do you know what the gap was to Sean coming through Quest?
I think it was 5 minutes.
Okay, so and how's that sitting? Because Sean's an incredibly
Yeah.
strong, fast runner.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he had 8
Yeah.
at Basic Galactic.
Okay, so you know you're making a little bit up. Yep.
And then Nick and I, we pushed the pace up the climb trail.
Yeah.
And then
That's another
also-
8K climb, just so people know.
Yeah, and it was, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
The climb trail, the last like kilometer and a half, like, Nick's this very strong climber,
He's a
so
bit of
I
a-
just tried to stick with him. I was like, you gotta stick with him.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be so much easier if you just stick with him and we can roll the downhill
Can't
together.
let him get out of sight.
And yeah, but that was a low point for myself.
It's such a strategic move to keep him in sight. Nick was saying, and you heard this as well when he came across, is he couldn't see you, and he didn't know. He knew you were just in front of him because he couldn't see you.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that mental motivation to
It
like
is.
close that gap. So
Super hard.
yeah, it's
So
tough.
tried to stay with Nick because, like I said before, like he's super experienced.
Yeah.
Heck, maybe I can learn something from him
Yeah.
too as well.
So how was that descent coming down AM? Because that's after the top of the climb trail. That's spicy.
It was spicy. It was outrageous, and then Nick was maybe like 10 meters ahead of me, and unfortunately he took a couple spills.
Yeah. Oh.
And there's that wooden bridge that you go over.
The mountain bike
And
race. Yeah.
so he goes over, and the top is on top, and then there's a downhill, and he just
So that's for people who don't know, that's a wooden feature on the course where you're going over the trail you've already ran under.
and he just went like
Go over there and pick yourself up a beer for $6.
just slid. So I kind of dove off the ridge
Smart.
into the dirt,
Yeah.
like because I knew I would slide immediately, and then Nick unfortunately took another spill,
Okay.
like shortly after that, and I think we were at the aid station shortly after that, and
Yes.
his knee was a bit
Yeah.
bloody by the looks of it, and then he was still at the aid station, and I just kind of took off and put a dig.
Was
That
that?
climb right up to Fool's Gold
Yeah.
that I put in a dig, and just tried to. That was kind of where I just tried to sustain it as much as I could, but we caught Sean at the aid station.
Okay. At the full school
Nice.
aid
Then it
station.
was just, then it was just Nick and I.
Nice.
Amazing. And then now we're talking a lot in this race too about that end part being again flat, you can really see each other. So
Yeah.
did you feel like the chase was on? Like what was the stride and pace looking like on the final road section?
Oh, the final road section.
The head drops.
So there's a sign that say, well, 3K to go.
Yeah.
So I tried to like look back and see if I could see
Shoulder
Nick,
check in,
and
yeah.
because I knew what he was wearing. I was just like, where's the orange? Where's the orange jacket?
Maybe that's what you learned from him, wear a black kimono.
blending
Yeah.
into the orange leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. But I got onto the road, and I honestly, I was I kind of breathed a sigh of relief, which is a bit premature. Because
15 seconds apart for most of that, right? So yeah.
yeah,
it's a
and then
little sigh.
I think it was a mile to go.
Yeah.
I look back, and there's the orange jacket.
So this is probably coming up by the train tracks. Again, that's just a little ways from here.
Yes,
Yeah.
the orange
Yeah.
jacket, and he's like 200 meters
hunt you.
behind.
There he is.
And it's one of the worst feelings I've had in recent memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing him back there, I was like, I'm gonna get plunked up the line here.
He's just been holding on to sprint ahead.
The thing is, like I kind of thought too, like it's deja vu for Nick.
Yeah.
In 2018, he was chasing Chris Mako.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was probably the same situation.
Yeah.
So I feel so bad for Nick because it's another second place. Like,
So at that point, you're thinking it's an 800 meter repeat.
So
I got this.
it's
Like, I can do
a
this.
mile to go. I see him behind, and I'm like, just don't quit.
Yeah.
Just don't quit.
Yeah.
I didn't quit, and I think I rolled the last K pretty quick, and I kept looking back to see if he was closing.
Yeah. Were you feeling strong here? Or are you holding on for dear life?
I pretty much that last 10K.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That's the only way to
I
finish
was,
Squamish.
I think I forget the trail's called Phlegm.
Mount
Mount Phlegm.
And there's quite a climb,
Yeah.
and I was bonking that. I was like digging into my naked belt to like find. I was like in the gel wrappers, like squeezing out the last bits of gel, and the like
Just licking your hand.
pretty
Anything,
much. I was like, I need something, and all I had was like a bag of Gatorade powder, and I was
Just
like,
to do it.
I don't think I can. So I was out of water too, and then I just ended up like trying to suck all the bottles dry.
The spare
So I
gels.
managed to get like one swallow from a bottle that I had like Coke in it. I was like, okay, but
Gotta last me.
I was bonking.
You're not fun dipping the gator.
That was a bad climb. That was a bad moment.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think that's such good, things to hear, because sometimes when we see people win and like even in a close call like that, right, where you guys were really racing all the way through, to hear that your day wasn't going perfect. You're not like, hey, that was my dream day. Some stuff went a little sideways, and that's always a good story.
I like the honesty.
Yeah.
There was some sideways moments, and there was some like super positive that came out of it. Like this is actually the first time I've raced it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that was
Yeah.
this experience like that is a high for me.
Awesome. Well, massive congrats
Yeah.
on your win.
And
50
rest
mile.
up, get your massage. We are going to see you.
Usually I love to ask people, like, what's up next for you? What do you got planned? What's on the calendar?
It's about 12 hours from now.
We know what that is. We're holding you accountable to it. Yeah.
This race.
Okay.
I officially start vacation.
Nice.
So 2 weeks of
Perfect.
vacation and just try to find some sun after today.
Best of luck.
Throw 50K in the mix.
Yeah.
So I know you said you don't want to talk about it. There's no way you can avoid that. We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
So what was your strategy? How are you thinking about this?
How are you thinking prior to the 50 miler? Not now. Prior.
Prior to
I
the
wanted
50
to just roll a really fast 50-50.
Yep.
And potentially and try to go for the course record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is about 13 hours, right?
So,
From
I know
13:45.
I know Mike Wardian's time.
Yeah.
What he did on the first day, and I think after
you-
today, I
Put in a
got a
little
bit
bit
of a buffer.
You got a little bit.
So
It's gotta be on your mind now, man.
It's on my mind. Yeah, but like the coming away with the win today wasn't really
huge.
on my mind. The legs were just there and kept the fluid intake and
Kind of sounds like once the opportunity presented itself, like we were talking about this before,
Yeah.
then you kind of got to go for it, right? Like
yeah,
it's there.
legs came through and it worked.
It did work.
When you're feeling it, you kind of just have to roll it. To run with a guy like Nick is just helps so much
Maybe,
to have a good race.
maybe that's something again tomorrow you two can work on together again.
I don't know what his plans are. Maybe you guys can.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe
I think rumor has it he's showing up.
Oh, maybe he's in the hot seat here. He
The
can.
rumor just started.
I just started it.
Awesome, man.
No,
Well,
so good to see you out there, Mike. Like you're just a
Thanks.
crusher.
Thanks.
Yeah, amazing to have you here.
it's been and it's been a pretty quick progression for you in terms of ultra running as a sport. Like you come from a biking background, you recently got into it. You're now standing on the podium of the Squamish 50 miler. Like massive congrats, man! Just really cool to see it and follow you along in your career. So yeah.
It's good to see you back running too.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I know. Not quite Scottish 50 mile win shape, but we'll see.
Oh well. Well, maybe next year and might be a bit drier.
Yeah. Well,
So
That's the hope.
I don't think it can get wetter than this. Is a pretty safe bet.
yeah, this is one for the record books. You know.
Any shout outs or anything for everybody listening?
So shout out to my sponsor Saucony for providing some awesome clothing, shoes, and keeping me rubber side down.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, good stuff. Congrats on the winner. Get a fist bump.
Congrats, Mike.
Yeah.
We'll do this next year. Yeah, so nice to see you.
And we'll see
Rest
you,
up,
see you bright and
recover.
early tomorrow morning.
And we'll see you back here after. Here we go.
All right.
Have a good day.
Congrats again, man.
Awesome. Moving smooth.
Yeah. That was a pretty clean stand up.
That was. I was like, there was no stutter there. That was a smooth stand.
That's a